Today I'm going to talk about something that I was looking forward to buying and that's going to prove really important in my arsenal. Today I'm going to talk about Mavic Mini 2. This is Mavic Mini 2, which is an upgrade over the previous version, that is Mavic Mini. It has quite some features and the specification that basically got me drawn toward this drone, even though it's quite a bit on a pricier side than the previous one. And this basically got me interested in the drones altogether. Let's talk about price, features and specification of this drone. 1. Flight time. Flight time for this drone is 31 minutes. Previously it was 30 minutes. I know 1 minute doesn't sound that big of a deal, but trust me, if you're in a crunch, this 1 minute will help you to basically get your drone back. Number 2, the range on this drone. This drone has an amazing range of 10 kilometers, which I have tested. I have gotten up to almost 8 or 8.5, something like that. 10 kilometers comes with a asterisk sign over it. Depends on the LOS. If there is no hesitation or any interference in the signal, it can go up to 10 kilometers. Third thing, it has 4K. Trust me, having the 4K in the drone is really good because let's face it, you will need to crop into your video time to time to basically frame the video perfectly. And the 4K now comes with 2 times zoom. 1080p comes with 4 times zoom. Sorry, this is it. 4 times zoom. It can shoot RAW. The reason I bought this drone was for the photography purposes. Since it can shoot RAW images, that will basically give me a much more room to play with the image. And the last reason why I bought this drone is because of its size. Since the weight of this drone is 249 grams, it comes under the limit where you don't need to require to register this drone for anything or get a license for this drone. Now let's talk about the application. So why I bought this drone? 1, for the RAW capabilities. Why RAW is important for me? Because I have always been inclined towards the photography aspect of the everything. So since it can shoot RAW, now you can do whatever you want to do with your images. You can play with the tones, curves and everything, or edit your photo in the way you want, which is not possible if the image is in JPEG. Number 2, 4K. Having a 4K drone basically will help me because since I'm new to this drone and I need quite some practice, so there will be time when I need to crop in to the video so that I can frame everything perfectly. This 4K will help me do that, which is not possible in 1080p or 2.7K, let's face it. Another thing is the 4K comes with a 2 times zoom. So that means it zooms optically without cropping into your sensor image or your image. And 1080p, it can go up to 4 times zoom. But there are times where you need to basically zoom in because there's no other option, because you don't want to risk losing your drone or you can't go beyond that point. So these are the things that basically got me drawn towards this drone rather than the previous version. So I know if you want to go with that previous one, that's also fine. 2.7K, nobody notices that. You can upscale everything in the post-production. But since it has a 4K and RAW capabilities, so that basically future-proofs this drone for me. So I don't need to invest in another drone if anything comes out later. Should you buy this drone? If you're anything like me, you're looking for a drone that can do the photo as well as a video, go for this drone. You can also go for the Mavic Mini, but I would suggest go for this drone because this will future-proof everything. Shoots 4K, shoots RAW. And if you're much more inclined towards the photography, you can go with the Mavic Mini. You have to go with this because this will give you a RAW capabilities. RAW capability will give you wiggle room. You can manipulate however the image you want. And the 4K is really good in this drone. So without any doubt, go with this. Another thing that is common with Mavic Mini and Mavic Mini 2 is the weight limit. This comes under the weight limit of 250 grams. Why that's important? It's because you don't require any license for this in order to fly this drone. You don't need to register this drone with any agency or any government site. But for your own safety as well as the safety of others, try to avoid flying this drone in a really crowded area, especially when you are really new to this. Number one. Number two, if you have a sticker, put your sticker on it with your name and number on it for the safety purpose. And plus, please don't fly this drone anywhere near the airports or the defense area, or where you should not be flying this drone. The Fly More app, the DJI Fly app, will help you with this. That will basically inform you this is the area where you are not supposed to fly. So do keep an eye for that and be a responsible flyer. This drone has a altitude or a height limit of 15 meters. For me, it's not a big deal because where I'm generally planning to fly this is at a mountain top. Of course, if that's not a restricted zone, I will fly it over there. And the flight height that is 15 meters is from the point where you take off. There are quite some people who want much bigger range. For those, this won't do. You will have to go with an upper version of this drone with the DJI Spark or Air 2 or Air 1, whatever you want, depending on your budget or your requirement. All in all, it's a really good drone. If you're looking for something like that, you can totally go with this drone. To sum up everything, this drone can do 4K with 2x zoom and 1080p with 4x zoom. It can do a flight time of 31 minutes. That's a really big deal. And this drone has a range of 10 kilometers depending on the line of sight. If there's no hinders or trees, it can go up to 10 kilometers. And the different modes in this are really good. The sport mode is actually really fast if you want to reach somewhere before you start recording everything. The normal mode basically gives you normal controls, as well as basically makes it much more manageable than a sports mode. And the cine mode basically is a cinematic mode, basically where everything slows down and the controlling the drone is really good and buttery smooth. It can go up to 15 meters, like I told you, has a height limit or altitude limit, whatever you want to call it, 15 minutes. For me, that's not a big deal. And the weight limit, it comes under the weight limit of 250 grams, which is really important because no registration, no licensing in order to fly this drone. All in all, it's a really good drone. Totally depends on what you want this drone for, or how do you want to use it. So that's it for me. Hope you're staying safe over there. And all those who are new to this channel, welcome. And all those who have been in this channel for quite some time, take care of yourself and stay safe. Consider liking, subscribing to this channel if you like what I'm doing right now. And my Instagram handle should be over here. Do give me a follow over there because all the things that I shoot, I post it over there, photos and stuff. So stay safe, take care of yourself, and bye-bye.